Tired of seeing the same overpriced bikes at every dealership? There's a whole world of Japanese motorcycles that no one's talking about. Reliable, underrated, and surprisingly affordable. In this countdown, we're digging up 10 hidden gems that deliver serious performance without draining your wallet. Number 10. Yamaha TDM 850. There's a motorcycle that almost no one talks about, one that Yamaha released before the world even knew what an adventure tourer was supposed to look like. And while others chased race replicas or cruisers with chrome, this machine quietly did everything well. At the heart of this underrated performer is an 849 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, engineered for torque and longevity. It produces approximately 80 horsepower and delivers nearly 60 pound-feet of torque, making it surprisingly capable for everything from two-lane highways to twisty mountain passes. This isn't the kind of power that screams for attention. It's the kind that simply gets the job done, mile after mile. What truly makes this bike stand out is its comfortable and versatile design. It tips the scales at around 490 pounds wet, light enough to maneuver easily in city traffic, but heavy enough to stay composed on the highway. The front end is equipped with dual-disc brakes that provide ample bite and consistent performance, while the rear gets a single disc that does its job without drama. The suspension setup features longer travel conventional forks up front and a monoshock at the rear. Together, they soak up rough patches in the road and offer surprising compliance, whether you're commuting or touring. Add in a wide padded seat, upright handlebars, and respectable wind protection from the front fairing, and you have a motorcycle that feels tailor-made for long rides without any of the bulk of a full-dress tourer. When it first hit the market in the early 1990s, its oddball styling left many American riders scratching their heads. It looked part street bike, part adventure bike, and didn't seem to fit anywhere in the market. That confusion is exactly what kept it affordable. These days, it's a hidden gem you can score for as little as $2,500 to $3,000 depending on mileage and condition. It offers reliable Yamaha engineering, strong aftermarket support, and a riding experience that punches way above its price tag. If you want a bike that can do just about everything without drawing attention, this is it. Most people ignored the TDM because they didn't know what it was. The next bike, they still don't, yet it's one of Suzuki's smartest creations. Number 9. Suzuki Bandit 1200. Riders searching for power and dependability without buying into race bike culture often overlook one of the greatest machines Suzuki ever built. The first-generation Bandit 1200 was created for street riders who wanted big torque, comfortable ergos, and low maintenance, all without paying a premium. At its core is an 1157 cubic centimeter inline four-cylinder engine, borrowed from the early GSXR platform and retuned for broader mid-range performance. The motor makes between 100 and 115 horsepower and delivers a massive 78 pound-feet of torque. It's not just strong, it's user-friendly, offering the kind of roll-on power that makes highway passing or mountain climbs feel effortless. But the Bandit isn't just about the engine. With a wet weight of roughly 540 pounds, it's heavy enough to feel planted at high speeds, yet manageable enough for urban commutes. The braking system includes twin front discs and a single rear disc, giving the rider plenty of stopping power with solid lever feel. Suspension is handled by conventional front forks and a monoshock rear setup. Nothing fancy but well balanced for real-world use. The seat is wide and supportive, the handlebars are positioned for upright riding, and the foot pegs are relaxed enough to keep your knees comfortable for hours. Together, it adds up to one of the most comfortable big-bore motorcycles from its era. Visually, it keeps things simple. There's no excessive bodywork, no sculpted plastics, and no digital gadgetry. Just a classic round headlight, analog gauges, and exposed mechanicals that beg to be wrenched on. That simplicity is part of its charm and makes maintenance a breeze. Chain adjustments, oil changes, and even valve checks are straightforward for riders who prefer to work in their own garage. On top of that, the aftermarket support is still strong, so you can easily add new bars, windscreens, or exhausts without hunting down rare parts. The real kicker, these bikes remain some of the best bargains in the used market. You can often pick up a solid first-generation Bandit 1200 for between $2,500 and $3,000. Many have been well cared for, and some even come with performance upgrades already installed. For that price, you're getting real power, comfort, and reliability in a package that still holds up decades later. The Bandit looks like a bruiser, but our next pick is small, humble, and one of the best-kept secrets in the retro commuter class. You can skip the regret. The gear we trust is waiting in the description. Number 8. Honda CB500T. Some bikes wear their history proudly, and this one carries the look and feel of a British roadster, without the mechanical gremlins. Honda engineered it to deliver the kind of classic aesthetic that turns heads, with the everyday reliability that lets you actually ride it. At the heart of this forgotten gem is a 500 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine that makes roughly 34 horsepower and delivers close to 29 pound-feet of torque. That's plenty of pull for casual cruising, weekend rides, and daily commutes. It's a slow burn, not a sprint, but one that's endlessly satisfying for riders who know how to enjoy the road. The wet weight comes in around 420 pounds, which makes it light, nimble, and beginner-friendly. It features a single front disc brake paired with a rear drum, offering predictable, if modest, stopping power. Suspension includes telescopic forks up front and twin shocks in the rear, tuned more for comfort than high-performance cornering. What it lacks in modern tech, it more than makes up for in confidence. This setup is soft, smooth, and ideal for riders who prefer relaxed, upright ergonomics and simple analog control. With a long, flat seat and neutral foot peg position, it offers all-day comfort and classic motorcycle posture. This machine's brilliance lies in its simplicity. There are no complex electronics, no riding modes, and no flashy dash. It's a carbureted kick-it-over-and-go motorcycle that invites wrenching, customizing, and daily riding without fear of breakdown. Its easy-access engine layout, reliable build, and widely available parts make it an excellent platform for hands-on riders. Many use it as the base for cafe builds, brat-style conversions, or just leave it stock and enjoy the vintage aesthetic with modern reliability. On the used market, pricing ranges from $1,500 to $2,800. Depending on the condition and originality. That puts it squarely in budget territory for anyone seeking a stylish, dependable ride with historical charm and mechanical honesty. If the CB500T feels too old school, our next bike blends modern performance with low-key looks. And it's still flying under the radar. If we've already saved you from wasting thousands of dollars, do us one favor, hit that subscribe button. We call out what dealerships won't, and this is just the start. Number 7. Kawasaki Ninja 500R. In the motorcycle world, some machines earn their respect not through flash, but through sheer competence. And this one's a perfect example. While riders chase newer platforms like the Ninja 400, the older 500R quietly delivers more real-world capability than many bikes twice its price. Its 498 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine generates about 50 horsepower and roughly 32 pound-feet of torque. The power delivery is smooth, approachable, and surprisingly capable on both highways and back roads. It won't set lap records, but it will deliver exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Weighing in at just over 400 pounds wet, this machine is light enough to flick through corners, but solid enough for stable cruising. The braking system uses a single disc at the front and another in the rear, more than enough for a bike of this size and weight. Suspension is made up of conventional front forks and a rear monoshock, both tuned to favor comfort and everyday usability over aggressive riding. With a slightly lean-forward seating position, mid-mounted pegs, and raised clip-on handlebars, the bike delivers a riding posture that strikes a perfect balance between sporty and comfortable. It was never marketed with hype, and maybe that's why it never got the attention it deserved. But among experienced riders, it's known as one of the most dependable entry-level sport bikes ever made. Maintenance is simple, parts are everywhere, and the engine is known to last well past 50,000 miles with basic care. It's the kind of machine that will grow with you, from early parking lot practice to confident long-distance rides. And thanks to its massive production run, the used market is full of clean examples. Prices typically fall under $2,000, even for well-maintained units with decent mileage. That makes it one of the most cost-effective options for anyone looking to get into motorcycling or get back into it without breaking the bank. For what it offers in longevity, comfort, and ease of ownership, it's practically in a class of its own. The Ninja 500R is proof that subtle can still be sharp, but if you're chasing something with a cult following, without the cult pricing, check out what's next. Number 6. Yamaha XJR 1200. In the world of naked bikes, there are machines that live in the shadows despite having all the power and street presence of the legends. This one is one of Yamaha's best-kept secrets. Designed as a bruiser for the streets with a hint of cafe racer DNA, it delivers raw torque, mechanical simplicity, and that unmistakable muscle bike vibe. At the heart of this machine is an air-cooled inline four-cylinder engine, displacing 1,188 cubic centimeters. It produces between 97 and 100 horsepower and cranks out approximately 78 pound-feet of torque. That means it doesn't just look strong, it hits hard, especially through the mid-range. This bike weighs in at roughly 570 pounds wet, giving it a road-hugging stance without feeling unwieldy. Up front, you'll find dual disc brakes that offer firm stopping power, while a single disc in the rear handles things smoothly under pressure. Suspension is handled by beefy conventional forks at the front and twin shocks in the rear, simple, rugged, and tuned for spirited street riding. Combined with a wide handlebar, flat seat, and neutral peg position, the ergonomics are all about control without sacrificing comfort. Whether you're blasting through the city or taking a long scenic detour, it delivers a planted, responsive ride that never gets old. Styling-wise, the design echoes a past era: chrome-accented engine covers, round headlamp, and that exposed, muscular tank. People often mistake it for a custom-built CB or even a stripped-down BMW. But this is all Yamaha, all the way through, because it was rarely imported in large numbers to North America, especially in its early years. It flies under the radar in used listings. Yet when you do find one, it is often in fantastic shape and listed well below what it's truly worth. Most examples range from $3,000 to $4,000, especially if you're willing to consider imports or early model years. That's an exceptional deal for a machine with this level of street performance and unique character, big power, bigger attitude, and no badge envy. But if you're looking for something a little newer, the next entry delivers modern precision in a forgotten frame. Number 5. Honda CTX 700. Some motorcycles are built to dominate attention. Others are built to quietly dominate your commute. This is a bike that never got the spotlight it deserved, but for riders who value efficiency, comfort, and calm torque delivery, it's an ideal everyday machine. Beneath the fairing sits a smooth-running parallel twin engine with 670 cubic centimeters. It makes about 48 horsepower and delivers approximately 44 pound-feet of torque, which comes on low and steady. This kind of torquey curve is exactly what makes it perfect for relaxed riding and smooth takeoffs, especially in stop-and-go traffic or longer cruises on the open road. With a wet weight of about 475 pounds, it strikes a near-perfect balance between road stability and low-speed maneuverability. The front brake is a single disc with a twin-piston caliper, paired with a single rear disc at the back, offering consistent and progressive stopping power. Suspension duties are handled by traditional front forks and a single rear monoshock. Nothing flashy, but everything works together to create a planted, supple ride. Add to that a low seat height of just under 28 inches, and you get a motorcycle that welcomes new riders and keeps experienced ones comfortable even after hours in the saddle. Its ergonomics lean heavily into the cruiser world: forward-mounted pegs, wide bars, and a deeply contoured seat. What's unique is how seamlessly it blends that cruiser posture with a commuter's practicality. The engine is borrowed from the NC series, known for efficiency and durability. Some models even came equipped with an optional dual-clutch automatic transmission, making it one of the few bikes on the market that could truly be called twist and go without sacrificing highway capability. Most people overlooked it when it launched, partly because the styling was unconventional and the marketing was unclear, but that has made it one of the most underrated values in today's used market. You can regularly find low-mileage examples selling between $3,000 and $4,500. If you're looking for a reliable, comfortable, and surprisingly refined machine that saves you money and keeps the ride stress-free, this one absolutely deserves a closer look. Riders laughed at it when it launched, but nobody's laughing now that gas is $5 a gallon. Our next bike proves that sometimes the best rides are also the weirdest. Number 4. Suzuki GSX1100G. For riders who want power, durability, and simplicity all in one package, This machine deserves a second look. It takes proven sport bike engineering and wraps it in a touring-friendly chassis, giving you the kind of performance that rarely shows up in this price range. At its core is an 1127 cubic centimeter inline four-cylinder engine, derived from Suzuki's legendary GSX-R series. It puts down an impressive 100 horsepower and close to 80 pound-feet of torque, giving it enough muscle to cruise comfortably at high speeds while still having fun in the corners. It's smooth, dependable, and surprisingly quick for something that looks so traditional. What sets this machine apart is its shaft drive system. Unlike chain-driven setups, the shaft requires almost no maintenance, offers clean and quiet power transfer, and lasts for tens of thousands of miles without adjustment. That's a big win for riders who want to spend more time riding and less time wrenching. The bike's wet weight comes in just under 600 pounds, giving it a sturdy, planted feel on the road, especially during long-distance touring. It features dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc for strong and predictable stopping power. Suspension duties are handled by standard telescopic front forks and a rear monoshock, tuned for a balance of comfort and load-carrying capacity. Combined with upright handlebars, a wide saddle, and mid-mounted pegs, it offers a ride quality that's ideal for both short hops and cross-country runs. Styling-wise, it's subtle, maybe too subtle for its own good. With a steel frame, classic lines, and minimal fairings, it looks more like a grandpa's tourer than a sport touring sleeper. But that anonymity works in your favor, keeping it off most riders' radar and firmly in the affordable and underappreciated category. It's also extremely reliable, with many examples hitting well over 50,000 miles and still running strong. Riders who know this machine understand that it's built like a tank and rides like a long-haul cruiser with a hot rod heart. Prices on the used market typically fall between $2,500 and $3,500. For that money, you're getting bulletproof engineering, serious torque, and minimal maintenance in one forgotten package. It looks like a grandpa bike but rides like a bruiser. Now, if you're into something wild and half forgotten, this next one's from the Dirt Track Playbook. Still watching? That means you get it. Motorcycle hype doesn't always mean value. Subscribe now so you never get blindsided by another overpriced, underperforming bike again. Number 3. Yamaha WR 250X. There are bikes that check boxes, and then there are bikes that break the mold entirely. This one wasn't built for comfort or cargo. It was built to raise eyebrows, carve corners, and bring dirt bike energy to city streets. Under the tank is a 250 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine, built to rev high and respond fast. It makes around 30 horsepower and 20 pound-feet of torque, but what it lacks in raw output it makes up for in how that power is delivered. Fast, crisp, and right where you need it. With a 6-speed gearbox and tight gearing, it thrives in aggressive urban riding and short, twisty runs. Its handling is where the magic happens. Weighing only 295 pounds wet, this bike feels more like a mountain bike with an engine than a traditional motorcycle. It comes with high-spec suspension straight from Yamaha's off-road lineage, fully adjustable inverted forks in the front and a monoshock rear, tuned for responsive street handling and small jump absorption. Braking is sharp and immediate thanks to its lightweight build and oversized front rotor. The 17-inch wheels are wrapped in sticky street tires, giving it a planted feel in tight turns, stoplight launches, and every traffic circle you attack like a track corner. Unlike many small displacement motorcycles, this machine doesn't look or feel cheap. Its finish quality is high, the digital dash is minimal but clean, and its stance is pure supermoto aggression. It's also one of the rarest factory-built supermotos from a major Japanese manufacturer, which is why clean examples are hard to find. But when you do find one, it's worth it. Maintenance is simple, and the engine is known to be tough as nails if serviced on schedule. This is a machine that begs to be ridden hard and rewards you every time you do. Despite its rarity, most used examples are still available under $4,500. That's a steal for a factory-built supermoto with this level of quality and capability. The WR250X is light, fast, and elusive. But if you want the ultimate secret weapon for backroad battles, our next bike is a literal legend in disguise. Number 2. Kawasaki Zephyr 750. Some motorcycles don't just get overlooked, they get completely buried under decades of hype for newer, flashier machines. That's exactly what happened to this one. Modeled after the legendary Kawasaki Z1, this machine was designed to bring back classic naked styling while upgrading the ride quality and dependability for a more modern experience. Underneath that vintage silhouette lies a 738 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline-4 engine. It produces approximately 76 horsepower and around 47 pound-feet of torque. That's more than enough for confident highway cruising, spirited weekend rides, and long-distance comfort. It weighs in at roughly 480 pounds wet, making it stable enough for touring but manageable enough for urban commutes. Braking is handled by dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, which provide firm and progressive stopping power. Suspension consists of standard telescopic forks up front and twin shocks in the rear, soft enough to smooth out bumpy roads but with just enough stiffness to feel planted through the corners. With mid-mounted pegs, upright handlebars, and a wide seat, the riding position offers all-day comfort without sacrificing rider connection to the road. It doesn't try to be a race bike, it just tries to do everything well. Part of what makes this machine so underrated is its pure honesty. It has no unnecessary fairings, no flashy graphics, and no electronics to complicate the ride. Just a classic round headlamp, analog gauges, and old-school styling that holds up year after year. What makes it even better is the level of refinement Kawasaki brought to the platform. Unlike its 1970s inspiration, this bike starts easily, runs smoothly, and needs far less maintenance than people expect from a retro-styled machine. Because it never became a cult bike in the United States, prices have stayed shockingly reasonable. On today's used market, you can find good condition examples of this machine selling for between $2,500 and $3,800. For a reliable Japanese classic that rides as good as it looks, that's a bargain by any measure. It looked retro before retro was trendy, but topping our list is a bike so obscure most people think it doesn't even exist. Number 1. Honda CB900F. Sometimes a motorcycle becomes a legend overseas and a total mystery here in the United States. That's the case with this machine, an original street superbike that's earned cult status in Europe, but still flies under the radar in American garages. Known to insiders as the Bulldor, this motorcycle is powered by an air-cooled inline-4 engine with double overhead camshafts measuring out at 900 cubic centimeters. It produces between 95 and 100 horsepower with torque in the range of 57 pound-feet, making it one of the best balanced early superbikes ever released to the public. Its wet weight lands just over 500 pounds, which means it's no featherweight. But thanks to its well-tuned chassis and strong motor, it never feels slow or clumsy. Dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc deliver strong and reliable stopping power. Suspension comes in the form of traditional telescopic forks and dual rear shocks, both offering a ride that's surprisingly refined for a 1980-era motorcycle. The ergonomics sit in that perfect middle ground between aggressive and relaxed. Flat bars, a long seat, and mid-mounted pegs offer flexibility for city commutes, highway poles, and backroad blasts alike. What sets this bike apart isn't just its numbers, it's the experience. The engine revs smoothly and freely, the throttle response is immediate, and the mechanical feel is direct and engaging. It has the rawness of a vintage bike, but with just enough polish to feel modern. Unlike later sport bikes that sacrifice character for speed, this machine finds a rare balance between soul and performance. In the United States, it never caught the kind of attention it received in Europe, which is why prices have stayed refreshingly low. Depending on originality and mileage, clean examples of this motorcycle can still be found for between $2,500 and $4,000. As vintage Japanese bikes continue to rise in value, this one won't stay affordable forever. These bikes didn't just lose value, they lost relevance. If you care about your wallet and your ride, this list just saved you. Subscribe now, because next time it might be your dream bike that turns into a nightmare.